Chicago collar and elbow. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? It's Tom, aka Headhunter Higgins. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want to see collar and elbow memes and content. So right here I have the definition of the word scuffle because collar and elbow was also referred to as scuffling. So some of those definitions I think would kind of describe collar and elbow well and how it might have looked in the past and why it was described as such. It was also called a fist fight with the feet, and I do think that's relevant when it comes to collar and elbow's approach and how it's unique. One thing is its similarity to boxing. The objective and rules of collar and elbow lead it to be played similar to boxing in a way that it's a complex but simple game based on fakes, feints, counters, or that you could kind of just get really aggressive and kind of turn it into the grappling equivalent of a brawl, where it's more or less both people just throwing for the finish, going all out, flinging their weight around, momentum just going back and forth. It fits in with the whole tough man, circus, boxer, old time, take on all comers, rough and tumble, spectacle and entertainment. And it kind of had the appeal of being an exciting style because there was so much momentum shifts. It was any man's game. Either man could win at any moment and get lucky with a big throw, although it was also praised for being a very scientific and gentlemanly game of tactics and skill. Kind of like boxing, you could get a really exciting war depending on what the competitors are doing, their personal style. The approach could differ slightly depending on the apparel, shoes, the material of jacket, the attributes of the opponents. A lot can determine how a style will look, but ultimately, grappling looks different from one gym to another, from one region to another, one country to another, even within the same sport and same rules. So, and with the rules of collar and elbow, it is very unique and it has its own unique struggles and difficulties. Reports of matches going on for hours weren't uncommon. I could see why, but if it's really done in the spirit that it's supposed to, I think we have a mix between that gentlemanly scientific approach and somewhat of a wrestling brawl, if you will. Just kind of a controlled chaos. Both guys trying to get the throw, presenting opportunities for the other, being very aggressive. It's an aggressive offensive art. Much like judo was used as a battlefield art out of necessity, collar and elbow was basically born or at least influenced by faction fights which were essentially just all-out giant brawls, rumbles involving sticks and stones, where it would be helpful to be able to throw or trip someone while remaining on your own feet in a completely chaotic environment where you could get trampled, beaten with a stick, thrown around. The people at the time were very rough, and I think the style would have reflected that even in leisure and practice, because violence was fun to these people. They participated in like full-on battles where your life could have depended on your ability to scuffle and throw and trip people around. So it very much has its roots in brawling, real fighting, and as a practical style that was the most watched and one of the most well-respected and popular combat sports of its time. Basically like the UFC or WWE would be now is what collar and elbow used to be back then. And I plan to do future videos about practitioners of collar and elbow in the past, but you'll have to subscribe and follow the channel, follow me on Instagram, and keep up with me for more content.